channel here. Here we take a look at action figures, new and old, and figure out which ones are still worth owning today. And today we're taking a look at my favorite Street Fighter character, Dhalsim. And so, a little bit of a history lesson. I'm pretty sure that there's only been a couple, I think these two, 1/12 scale Dhalsim figures created. So, as you see, we have the Jada Toys version here, but before Jada landed that license, Street Fighter action figures had a pretty consistent history. So in the late 90s, early 2000s, companies like SOTA Toys, SOTA, were kind of the gold standard for collectors when they were producing the highly detailed 6-inch figures with tons of articulation and accessories. A lot of fans loved them, but the line just really didn't cover the full roster. So after that, a handful of companies took their shot, including NECA, Pop Culture Shock made some statues. And then, as we know, Storm Collectibles, who's still going at it with the slightly smaller line. But even Storm, the years that they've had the Street Fighter license, which I'm not too sure how long it's been, but it's been more than 5. They've never made a Dhalsim, which is kind of crazy. We'll see if the newer Storm Arena line makes their own Dhalsim. I'd definitely be pretty excited for that. But with all these different lines, there's been a lot of trade-offs with them. Limited character selection. The scale's been very inconsistent between them. Even Storm with their new arena line versus the original line. The pricing kind of going off the charts, like these soda figures have been known to be very expensive. Like I paid $100 for this Dalsim probably about 5 years ago. Right now, he's going for about that same price. I've seen him listed for like 50 up to 150. I think 50 is with a little bit of damage. But that's what's kind of making the Jada Toys line, which is the one behind him here. That's what's making the Jada Toys line such a big deal right now. They just launched a couple of years ago, brought Street Fighter back to the masses with great articulation, great sculpting, game accurate accessories, and just an amazing price point, which we'll kind of dive in here and see if that all lines up. And if you've been following Jada at all, they're not following the old school model of releasing a couple of the main Street Fighter characters in the line as they go. They're releasing them nonstop. And I just saw today that Zangief was announced, and he's kind of going for like $10 extra, 34.99, and it makes sense. He's a bigger figure, using up more plastic. But let's dive into these guys real quick. It's going to be kind of a quick review. But I mean, we're talking about figures that are probably about 10 to 15 years different from when they were made. And so I'll kind of just hold them. We'll kind of just bounce back left and right here. But starting with the soda figure. So one, you can see his earring actually broke there. But look at the necklace of skulls. It's like real heavy plastic skulls there on a real rope that sit there and kind of dangle around his chest there, while the Jada Toys is going to be like obviously kind of just more plastic, where the other side's not detailed at all. The underside, but the underside on these is all fully detailed. These are probably from like a skull, tiny, smaller action figure like GI Joe scale. The earring on the soda figure does not move. The earring on the Jada Toys does move. It's the little things to me. The face sculpts are different. The Soda Toys looks a little bit more realistic, which is pretty cool. The Jada Toys kind of has a little bit more of that toy, that softer appearance to it, which is totally fine again for that price point. And getting down to the wrists, they both have pretty similar that metal band going around, which I'm pretty sure on both it's just plastic. And you could see here, even on the soda figure, this rope tying his shorts together, which on this is just more like kind of sculpted into it. It's very hard plastic. Like if you drop this figure on this, I feel like it'll break. Like there's a little bit of movement, but not much. But just getting to articulation, that guy's gonna go all the way up with the shoulder. He's gonna be a little bit limited, but you could easily get there by twisting this around at the shoulder. The butterfly joint here is there. It's a little bit small, but it is a butterfly joint. And then I do believe there is, and then I do think there's a butterfly joint on the soda figure as well, but I'm not sure. You could see it in there. I'm not sure if it's supposed to move. I tried moving it before, but I'm pretty sure it might break if I try that. So, uh, not going to do that. They both have your bicep swivel right there. And in terms of bending, he has a double jointed bicep, can pretty much almost bend it flat. And then he also has a double jointed bicep. He's going to get about the same movement there. Getting to the ab crunch, the soda ab crunch is kind of funny. You see like this little like sculpted six pack in here, but it's pretty decent. Bends over there and goes backwards about there. And then it is a swivel at the waist here. And then for the Jada Toys, pretty decent going back. And then, yeah, even better going forward, but even be able to go a little bit more. And then I think it's a ball peg at the waist. Yeah, you're not going to get a ton of movement, but you get a little bit. Getting down to the leg here. So again, this is all very hard plastic. The shorts, everything's all sculpted and connected together there. There is no, oh, there is a thigh swivel here at the shorts, another double jointed knee, and then your toe articulation down here, pretty decent, even from, yeah, back then. They're kind of utilizing the most modern ankle rocker, which is kind of cool to see. They're a little bit ahead of the game. And what's funny, you could even see on the bottom of the feet here, like the sculpting lines that the artist who made this created. Like I didn't create these scratch marks. They're kind of the figure comes that way. Like they sculpted it, made a mold, and started filling them. So, and then getting to him, again, he also has the thigh swivel here, double jointed knees, and then a pretty similar ankle rocker and rubber feet. And then for accessories for Dhalsim, like you pretty much know what you're going to be getting, right? Everyone's looking for the stretch arms and the stretch legs. So for the Soda Toys, so for accessories here, it's a pretty clear winner that it's going to be the Jada Toys on the right. I'll double check the Soda Toys accessories, but I do believe it's only these longer longer arm pieces that he comes with. Okay, so confirmed that these are the only longer extension of arms that he comes with. He does come with a pair of fist hands that I just don't have on me right now, and you can consider this necklace an accessory too, just because it is a separate piece of the box. And then when you get to the Jada Toys Dhalsim, the accessories are pretty cool. So these are hard plastic. They have no movement to them, but the Jada Toys does have like that kind of rubber bend to it, which is nice. And these do have a hand in them already, and you can't remove that hand. You can't replace that with like a more open grip. The hands are just simply part of the like mold. I think. Yeah, like I'm pretty sure if I move that it'll break. But then he also comes with the extended legs, which again are the same rubber material that'll bend, which is great. And that's those. And he comes with another headpiece with the screaming face, mouth open, and then the karate chopping hands. So accessories is pretty easily going to go to the Jada Toys. Um, Articulation wise, honestly, I'd say it's pretty close between the two. It's gonna come down to more like just an overall feel of the figure. Like this is a little bit more soft rubbery. This is more very much hard plastic. Sculpt wise is tough because there's just a lot of old school. The soda figure almost feels like it should be like a relic in a museum. But you could appreciate like all the little like intricacies and inconsistencies like throughout the figure. Again, like the fact that you're seeing like sculpting like lines that someone um, was creating is pretty cool. And then, you get a figure like this from Jada Toys, like all that stuff's going to be like almost perfected out. Like now you have like, names and logos down there, which makes sense. So just two different figures at a different time, two different sized businesses going at it. Overall, I'd say if you're a big fan of Street Fighter and a Dhalsim collector, I definitely recommend checking out the SOTA figure. It's similar to the Jada Toys. This guy comes in a few different colors, like gray and few different shades of blue. I'm a big fan of the classic, and even just to have him in your collection, because again, there's very limited Dhalsim figures out there in the world. For some reason, no one likes to create them. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. But again, he's always been my favorite figure, so I'm a big fan. But I do really like the Jada Toys. I think it's, yeah, an absolutely amazing figure. But yeah, if you guys were deciding between these figures released 10 to 15 years apart, hope this video helped. It's a very specific crowd I'm talking to. Um, Hope this video helps, and I'll see you guys in the next one.